Ethan was 16 when it felt like his whole world suddenly turned against him. For years, he believed that no matter what happened, there would always be people by his side. He had friends to laugh with after school, a girlfriend who promised she would never leave, and a family that seemed strong enough to survive anything. But within a few months, everything changed. His girlfriend broke up with him without warning. One day they were planning their future, and the next day she told him she didn't want to be with him anymore. Ethan tried to act strong, but every message he deleted felt like losing a piece of himself. Things became even harder at school. Rumors spread, and many of his friends slowly stopped talking to him. Some ignored him in the hallways. Others pretended not to see him at all. Ethan couldn't understand what he had done wrong. Every day felt lonelier than the one before. At home, life wasn't much better. His mother was dealing with serious financial problems and stress. She worked long hours and rarely had time to talk. To Ethan, it felt like she no longer cared about him. The house that once felt warm and safe now felt cold and silent. Weeks turned into months. Ethan stopped enjoying the things he once loved. He stopped playing sports, stopped going out, and spent most evenings alone in his room staring at the ceiling. The future looked empty. He felt trapped inside his own thoughts. One rainy afternoon, while walking home, Ethan noticed an old community center. A poster on the door advertised free photography classes. He almost kept walking, but something made him step inside. At first, he barely spoke to anyone. He simply listened and learned how to use a camera. But week after week, he started meeting people who didn't know his past and didn't judge him. They only cared about the photos he took and the effort he put in. Photography gave Ethan a reason to leave the house. He began capturing sunsets, city lights, mountains, and ordinary people living ordinary lives. Through his camera, he started noticing beauty in places he had never looked before. Slowly, his confidence returned. He made new friends. He spoke more with his mother and realized she had never stopped loving him. She had simply been overwhelmed by her own struggles. By the time a year had passed, Ethan's life wasn't perfect. He still had difficult days. But he had learned something important. Losing people does not mean losing yourself. Sometimes the darkest chapters of life are not the end of the story. Sometimes they are the beginning of a new one. And for the first time in a long while, Ethan was excited to see what came next.